Despite the gaps remaining minuscule in the green plates of the juniors, it was still status quo. The new Italian generation in fourth know they'll struggle to defend their title, won a year earlier by Thomas Aldrati and his team. The USA have got the drop on them, led today by Corey Buttrick, the fastest in the team. France continue to ride at an excellent standard, but the Spaniards have done it. They've managed to open up a little daylight at the front. The six-day junior leaders are now 2 minutes to the good. With 2 days to go, the riders are paying extra attention to their machines. With the demands of the Sandy Specials, the clutches have been run into the ground and some decide to get in before they get out. Every movement is crucial. The best can change it in just 5 minutes. The exhaust silencers are also closely monitored because, as well as having to remain on the pace, they're subject to regular controls by the FIM's technical commissioners. The riders can change them once before they get a decibel reading and a rubber stamp.
Only a new exhaust because it's soft sand and that silencer is very hot all the time, and now we change new one.
Well, we have environmental rules which are relatively strict and we have to enforce them. Obviously, the silencer can deteriorate in its efficiency. The fact that we check the machine during the event, that is after a special or a time check, we can see if the material is still within the norms, as it was at the start. The FIM overlooks the exhaust constructors work hard. The Enduro family is doing the right thing. It's day 5 and the ISDE survivors set out for a new course. It's also the day where everything could have changed for Les Bleus. Frenchman Julien Gauthier was forced to retire with engine trouble. France now has no joker and thought their chances of victory were evaporating just as long as it took Marc Germain to repair an electrical fault. Repairs in extremis, but a tribute to his art. Meanwhile, the trio of Tim, Mayo and Nombotin worked as a team. The result at the end of the 5th day, the French almost threw it away but survived, with the lead cut back to just 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Obviously, Italy thought it was to be their lucky day, and despite an off day for an exhausted Alessandro Botturi, France's rivals tried to move up another gear. Certain riders have a habit of surpassing themselves on the ISDE, such as Oscar Balletti. Others struggle, such as Fabio Mossini, less competitive than he is throughout the regular season. Australia were trying to hang on for an incredible 3rd place, but when they lost Stefan Merriman on day 5, they saw Finland reel them back in. Finishing in the top 3 is a point of honour for the Enduro Giants, and Iro Remes and Samuli Aro both emerged victorious in their categories. 1 minute 30 now separates the two nations, who will take the battle for 3rd into the final day. Luis Correa was victorious in his class, and Portugal climbed to 5th in the trophy. The 6 days has already been a success for the home nation. The locals are in a battle for the top 5 with Sweden, a Sweden without Bjorn Karlsson, and the United States without Caselli. And there's nothing between the 3 of them. It's also incredibly close in the juniors. Spain and France matched each other second for second, and on the eve of the final day there remains 2 minutes and 9 seconds between the Spaniards and the chasing Frenchmen. But don't forget about the USA, who aren't that far behind and can count on the super quick Jamie Lanza, one of these unknown that bursts onto the scene during the 6 days. He may have the stature of a jockey, but he's a veritable artist on the bike, and all of that at just 16 years of age. Whether it be in the trophy, the juniors or the women, France is starring at the highest level in world enduro. Now let's have a look at the team behind the helmet with Antoine Mayo.
Eh ben, je vous promets pas le résultat. Hein. Et voilà, 6h15.
6:15 a.m. and we get up for breakfast.
Et là, on dit c'est le calme à la
This is
tempête.
what you call the calm before the storm, not a movement in the paddock.
Il y a même un vigile. Bichot. Bichot, bichot.
Voici Fifi le
This is Fifi, the cook,
Fortunato qui s'empiffre 2 pots de Nutella.
and this is Fortunato, who's going to eat 2 jars of chocolate spread.
Et là c'est le borgne.
On va vous montrer ce qu'on supporte depuis une semaine.
And now we'll show you what we've been putting up with for a week. What are those girls doing?
Qu'est-ce que t'en penses alors?
How was your day? Average. What did the boss shout at you for?
Comment elle a été ta journée?
Mossad.
Mossad. Pourquoi le chef il gueule?
Well, what happened? Why was the boss angry? Well, on the first one I fell and he said, stop complaining and stay on your 2 wheels. And the second? Well, I stayed on 2 wheels and he asked me what my problem was. The third then? Well, on the third I gave it everything, but still no better.
Voilà, on est
Well, here we are,
samedi
Saturday
matin.
morning. Nombot is preparing for the cross final. What do you think about the day to come? Well, we're going to win.
Ça c'est bien dit ça.
Well said.
Pas mal, hein.